So let's first talk about the. First of all, I love D'Angelo Wallace. I'm a fan. I've always loved him. He's really measured. He's very thoughtful, and he's always right. And he seems like a really chill, cool guy. I really like him.
Why are you cursing him like this, dude? What are you doing?
Come on. I've been talking nice about D'Angelo for a while, and he survived. And also, I want to say specifically that he bigged me up. He bigged up our show.
Yeah.
For being the only people that talked about it. And I'm like, thank you.
True.
I think he said we're the only mainstream.
Ooh.
Which was, he was like, there were some smaller channels, but the only mainstream was like H3 Podcast.
He said,
and an article.
He said, us and Rolling Stone.
Serve.
If we're being picky, he said almost mainstream.
Hey, almost insinuates.
Wait, why did he have to qualify it? Almost?
He did say almost.
Let's find out what he said. But at any rate, the thing I like about D'Angelo too is that he came with new stuff that actually made the whole story, like, in my opinion, way worse. And he also did a really good job of, I think, illustrating the misogyny happening with, like, the way that people are reacting to the fact that it's Tana talking about it. I like Tana. Maybe she was like a storyteller and a fibber back in the day, but in the past few years that I've known her, that hasn't struck me to be who she is.
No, I don't think anything. People will talk about like a story about a nail salon. Maybe she like upped some details. There's absolutely nothing that makes me think that she would lie about this. There's nothing that would make anybody.
In the past few years, she's been, in my opinion, like a very credible, very straight up person.
And very consistent about this specific event.
Yeah.
Very consistent.
Yeah. But I mean, but I like Tana. I like
Love.
Her. Yeah. So he has some new stuff I want to go over. But I had the same thing. Even when we talked about this the first time, there was a lot of people in our audience that were like, dude, we're doing the whole same thing. And we have like an extremely progressive audience that is very woke on social issues. And there was tons of people in the chat talking about how, it was legal. 17 is legal in a lot of states. People saying shit like, oh, well, he just got married and have a kid. Why are you doing this? And all this types of bullshit. It's not a big deal. All this. And it was pretty stunning, even then.
Something that I don't know if we've touched on is when Tana mentioned it, like over a year ago in her canceled podcast, she just like offhand brought it up. 1 week later, Cody proposed to his girlfriend. So a lot of people are speculating if that's...
Is he that calculated, you think?
Bro, I don't know. That's just what a lot of people are talking about. And I will say that I watched Canceled and I looked through my text messages. I have old ones being like, is it weird that he proposed 1 week later?
Well, so Tana said in one of her videos, this might change your mind, Dad, that he texted her out of the blue and was like, hey, are we good? Like, I just got engaged, so I don't want to like get into all this. Like, he had said something, like leveraged it in a conversation with her.
Like when the clip surfaced from her at her show, he texted her and said, hey, are we good?
He said something about how I just got engaged, right? That's what he just
had a baby.
Or he just had a baby. I guess something. It's in this video. What happened, but
okay.
Yeah, people were pissed off at me. And since then, nobody covered it, pretty much. I thought when we talked about it that more people were going to talk about it and it would be a bigger story. No fucking body touched it anywhere. And I had never really thought about
I'm not that surprised because I feel like Cody really has a reputation and an image as being this sort of universally liked persona. And I think a lot of people were probably hesitant to, because of his fan base and everything, to take a swing at him.
Which is cowardly as fuck. I think a lot
Yeah,
of
I
the
mean,
people,
yeah.
a lot of people, by the way, are Cody's collabed with almost everybody in the space too, and I think for a lot
He's
of
been
people,
on our show.
Sure, yeah, of course, yeah, he's been on our show.
Yeah.
But he's been in regular collaboration with a lot of these commentary guys. And D'Angelo makes a good point that I hadn't thought about. Is like, dude, it just seems like a boys' club at this point, this whole commentary community, where, you know, he's getting a pass. And they're not even going to talk about it, let alone a pass. Like, they're not even going to touch it. I don't know. It seems pretty wild. But, yeah, I mean, listen, he's a frat boy, dude. You know what frat boys do. Not all of them, but... so how much of this video do I watch? Obviously, it's 15 minutes long. I don't watch the whole thing.
Well,
there were a few moments.
His glazing you up is in the first, like, minute, so at least that far.
I timestamped that.
Yeah, that's the most important part,
Yeah,
obviously.
figured.
You guys can watch the rest by yourself. But then I noticed, like, Charlie covered it this morning, like, immediately after getting called out, which is good because more people are going to see it.
I know Ethan hates me now.
A thing that frustrates me about that always is that his video is going to get a ton more views than D'Angelo's, which is, like, so stupid because he's just literally...
Got a massive audience.
Yeah, he does. You're right.
Don't really know why,
but so it's
yeah.
a good thing. But he did this thing against Tana that kind of annoyed me. Like, he goes, I know a lot of people hate Ethan Klein, and I totally understand that. It's a totally defensible position. He goes, he's trying to defend Tana, but he does stuff like,
But yeah.
I know Tana's like a serial liar and has like a horrible reputation, but that doesn't, like, he's like, she's catching like mad strays from him.
Yeah.
As he's trying to defend her in the same way. And I just like, dude, why does she have to catch any strays for this? As far as I know, like I said, the past few years, she's been like very above board.
Yeah, so one of the times when she brought it up, he texted her and said, "Are we good? Like, my wedding is coming up."
Oh, that's manipulative as fuck.
Yeah. But it's also so manipulative. Everybody in the comments being like, he just had a kid. It's like,
So
okay,
what?
you still had
Lots of
sex
people
with a
have kids all the
17-year-old.
time, Yeah.
That's even worse. He just had a baby.
Well, there's no
It's different.
people, you know, that's
But I don't want him to have a baby.
You reeled that one back in quick.
I don't know what to say. I mean, it's life, you know.
I take it back.
Am I just gonna get Hila pregnant every time in a controversy?
Well, you guys have had a lot of kids the last few years and a lot of controversy.
Hasn't helped.
The original
Right.
button.
Hasn't helped at all.
Right.
Shit.
What good are these kids?
Nothing, man. Ever since Bruce was born, that was like 2.3 years ago, and we haven't had, our ads have been shit.
Right.
He has not helped. He has
Come
not
on,
paid for
Bruce?
himself. He has not paid for himself.
What controversy brought Bruce?
Ben Shapiro.
He's the Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro should be happy I brought another Jewish dual citizen potential
Right,
in
yeah.
this world. You know what I
Right up
mean?
his alley, isn't it?
What are
was
you
after
doing
a
for the
BTS.
Jewish people, Ben?
BTS baby.
How many kids does Ben Shapiro have, by the way? Because he's like religious. Those religious guys go nuts with the kids. Ben Shapiro.
For shizzle.
For shizzle.
You know, in all of our talking about Ben Shapiro, I haven't got a clue. He doesn't really talk about his kids much, which probably is for the best.
4 children, I believe.
4.
Keep him out of the public.
2 daughters, 2 sons. Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of the bare minimum you need to be like Orthodox Jewish.
Right.
It's a mitzvah. It's the biggest mitzvah.
It's a mitzvah.
What am I talking about? So D'Angelo, if you can find that part about Charlie's video, that's the one part I wanted to show. What's up, guys? Today, I want to talk about something slippery than my last turd after eating a really fat hamburger.
But yeah.
But yeah. But it's good he covered it. It's good he covered it.
It is. It is. I mean, it's
Would
definitely
be a soundbite, I
the
suppose.
fact that he, like D'Angelo publishing the video, definitely brought it back into sharp focus for a lot of people. But Charlie doing a video, like he's pretty much the biggest like commentary channel at this point, right? That's safe to say.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, I mean, like there's no dodging it at this point for Cody.
And I will say,
has
to his
respond.
credit, he came down very forcefully. He didn't sit on any fence on this time around.
Right. 1.2 million views in 5 hours.
That's crazy.
So is a
Insane.
YouTuber
That's kind of nuts. He's gonna have to respond. I
Yeah.
feel like now. Also, D'Angelo pointed out something really weird, which is like we knew that Cody was censoring the comments on his YouTube channel and his subreddit. We knew that, but because there's no comments on his YouTube channel, apparently his wife's channel isn't moderated, and all the fucking
That sucks.
is all on her channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
17
People
is
shouldn't
less
do
than
that.
18.
Like,
That's
I know
some-
people want to like yell at Cody, but like, it's not Kelsey's fault.
no,
No, not at all. I feel horrible for
yeah,
her.
I feel horrible
She's
for
probably
her. I
having
mean-
a real hard time hearing about all this too. So
Yeah, it's. I'm sure it just is a terrible.
yeah, she shouldn't be catching strays.
No.
She seems, by all accounts, a lovely person. I mean, I know she was like a elementary school teacher before. you know.
Preschool.
Dude, his mods are just crushing everything, and then the reason they give is because it might incite drama. I was like, excuse me, we need that rule on our subreddit. This could incite drama.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There'd be no posts on this.
Dude, that's awesome. Could incite drama. That's the fucking best. Dido, beep, 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 beep. Anyway, let's check out friend of the he's a friend of the show, I think, D'Angelo. Potentially.
He cut to
All right,
me.
Cody. Let's have.
It was a question for the
well,
people.
he cut to me.
Oh,
Yes. Of course, he's a friend.
Yeah,
of the show. Yes.
yeah. I like him a lot.
There's been many crossovers.
I haven't spoke to him in a while. We used to talk about.
Well, yeah. I mean, he called in once, and didn't he take like an extended break to finish
Yeah.
school? So he was kind of off the internet for a couple years there.
He still doesn't post super frequently, but
Yeah.
he always, when he does, it's very good.
He drops heaters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time. Yeah, his last upload was 2 months ago. So, anyway, let's take a look.
Have an uncomfortable conversation. Someone has been alleging for years now that you, one of the largest commentary creators on YouTube, knowingly committed a crime against her when she was a minor. But YouTubers and viewers alike are ignoring and discrediting these allegations solely because the person making them happens to be an unlikable woman online, Tana Mojo. And you know that people are ignoring this because nobody is working harder to bury this story than you. And you're getting away with it because commentary YouTube has a serious problem. I can't blame any of your viewers or my viewers for not hearing about this because you've done such a good job hiding it up until now that I only found out about it recently. The situation has been talked about by smaller channels, it's been discussed at length on other platforms, and it keeps almost hitting the
was that our
mainstream.
boy?
Say what?
Can you go back where it shows the smaller channels?
Yeah.
Channels.
Yeah, it's
been
Doolittle. I thought
only
it looked
found
like
out
him.
about it recently.
My boy
The
Doolittle?
situation-
Yeah, bottom left.
Shout out Adam.
Doolittle.
Shout out.
No.
All right, Doolittle.
I thought I recognized him.
Has been talked about by smaller channels, it's been discussed at length on other platforms, and it keeps almost hitting the mainstream, like with this Rolling Stone
See,
article.
Oh, no,
with this-
he didn't say we're almost mainstream. He said it almost hit mainstream.
Yeah, so it being on our show is almost hitting the
No,
mainstream.
no, Dan.
I-
That's not what he
No.
meant.
That's not what he meant.
He said it almost went mainstream. It got close when it came on our show, but it didn't get picked up by everybody. That's the mainstream when it gets picked up. I thought it would get picked up too.
We're mainstream,
You
Dan.
are hating.
it's like cope.
You're coping. Why you want to hate?
I don't. Let's.
You're
You're
mad
right.
because you're in the chair.
Sure. Yeah, that's it.
H3 podcast discussion. But the reason it hasn't caught on yet, despite all of this, is that none of your friends, nobody on your level, nobody in the commentary niche with enough pull is willing to admit that this situation makes you look terrible.
A lot of people like him a lot, and they really are like doing any kind of mental gymnastic to just ignore it.
I'm not here.
I'm so glad he included that. I am. I'm genuinely. It's nice.
And did you hear me in that clip? My commentary?
You had offered something.
Yeah, I had a
insight?
contribution there.
Willing to admit that this situation makes you look terrible.
A lot of people like him a lot, and they really are like doing any kind of mental gymnastic
You hear
to
that?
just ignore. Oh yeah, that was good.
I said.
I got
yeah.
that. That was good.
I said, yeah.
That was
mainstream.
good. That was good.
I'm mainstream, baby.
You did
I'm
it.
mainstream.
I did love that. I like when you back me up like that. You go, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, people are saying it was love. That said, yeah.
That's
you
my
love.
yeah, dude.
Okay,
you
sorry.
are passionate about this.
Yeah.
Are we
I,
sure?
I like to say yeah.
Love
I
was
said that
passionate
already.
about this story.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a while.
Okay,
Yeah, I've been
so
following
it
this
was
shit.
love then.
I've been following this shit for a long minute, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's been annoying me that it hasn't had any spotlights on it.
Yeah.
So my question
Yeah.
is, do you think he's going to make a statement? Because if basically it seems like almost certainly that this happened, right? So like he has two paths. He can deny it, which doesn't seem plausible at all. I don't think anyone's going to believe him, especially because there's new corroborating evidence that D'Angelo introduces. And the other one is admitting to it, which is admitting to a crime and a really terrible thing. I don't know that his brand can survive him admitting that it's true. So like
There's another element there too that I would point out is that it is a crime that's being alleged, and is it not plausible that his lawyers are advising him to not say a word about this?
I doubt his lawyers are involved personally, but
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I'm just speculating. But
No, it's on brand for him. Like if he did do it, how can he admit to it? It's like I feel like his only option has been to ignore it,
Right.
and I feel like he will even continue to try to ignore it.
Yeah.
yeah.
If he admits to it, it's GG.
How can he, right?
Then I feel like almost, yeah, no, he has to ignore it.
You can't
Which
be
is
like,
sad.
yeah, it's true, and anyway, I'm real sorry about that.
Yeah, like what an icky
How do you move
piece
on
of
from that?
content from
Yeah.
anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
how do you release that even?
Oh, D'Angelo brought up a really funny thing too, which I didn't know about him. So he got in trouble for having said slurs in the past, and hello, he's not the only one. But he released his. I'm not judging him for that, because I'm guilty of the same thing. Although I judge him the same way I judge myself. You know what I mean? However, he issued an apology on Patreon.
Paywall apology is wild. That detail really.
How did he get away
That
with
kind of made
that?
my eyes pop out. When
That was years ago.
that part
How
came
the
up.
fuck did he get away with a paywall?
Paywalling your apology is.
The only person I can think
nuts.
that did that was *TiKaL.
Oh yeah, there was
Yeah.
right.
But he's probably the only one that could get away with that. *TiKaL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the revelation's really good here. Let's take a listen.
I'm not here to accuse you of committing a crime in this video. Because
Oh,
I
actually, here,
can't
let me
do
use
that.
your timestamps, maybe. So,
I sent the apology if you want that. I sent it in Discord.
This is from. It doesn't say the year.
Oh yeah, it doesn't say the year. Let me see.
He says, "Hey y'all, some old videos where I say something really insensitive things have been surfacing on Twitter. They're really ignorant videos, and I wish I never made them. Last thing I'd want is for someone to feel alienated because of something stupid I said. It was a mistake, and I'm sorry to let you all down." On Patreon. What? Whoa, how did he get away with that?
And frankly, it's a pretty mid apology, even if it wasn't behind a paywall, because it's like, who's the guy who rates apologies?
Yes, psychology in Seattle.
Did you say Sig
Psychology. Psychology in Seattle.
Psychology in Seattle. His rubric for a good apology is,
You have to say what you did wrong.
exactly right.
He's specifically avoiding doing because he doesn't want more people to find out about it.
Right, exactly. So yeah, even if it were a public apology, it's not that great. And then paywalling it is just
Dude, that's awesome.
that's crazy.
That whole thing tickled me. I love that. You think I could get away with that shit?
Sig Heil in Seattle.
What did you say Zig Heil for?
You did
You
by mistake.
when
I
you
didn't say that.
Yes, when you were trying to say psychology,
Zig Heil?
kind of stumbled over your words.
I did not say that. I
Roll the
said
tape. Roll the tape.
Roll the tape. Somebody send me the clip. Ain't no shot.
Oh, that's so funny.
A drama video covering this Patreon apology is from 5 years ago, 2019.
Okay, so it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Still funny. So here's the new evidence that kind of blew me away. Gabby Hannah On her, well, here, I'll let D'Angelo
Going
explain.
to find it. Remember how Tana said that fellow YouTuber Gabby Hannah tried to stop you before everything allegedly went down? Well, did you know that Gabby is actually on record telling the exact same story several years ago?
One time, I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside and I was like, hey man, you probably don't know, I know she like looks a little older, she's underage, watch it. And he was like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And then he turned that.
This is really...
That is crazy bad.
Yeah.
Horrible.
So Gabby says,
The only way it could be worse is if she specified who it was, but I mean, given the context, you can
So-
obviously infer. And also,
well,
her
Hannah said separately that Gabby had told him.
right.
So it kind of.
Yeah, no, you could put it
Yeah.
together. And then also the fact that her impression of the guy sounds...
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's straight up
Yeah.
Cody
Probably
Cole.
don't know.
Keemstar actually put out a tweet saying that he was told as well by Gabby. He was told about this off record
Oh, that
years ago.
Keemstar corroboration.
Oh, well, now it's
that
GG.
Well,
Now
basically,
it's done.
that adds zero credibility, but thank you for.
Cock,
Shut up.
you're actually autistic. Shut up.
You shut up.
Let's be nice. He also just got engaged. Both Daniels just got engaged.
Oh, it's so true. Do you think he saw
What did you
my
do?
engagement and tried to
Oh,
one
you
up me?
wanted Dan?
Probably.
Yeah.
A double Dan engagement?
Yeah.
Double Dan dog dare ya?
Only Dan's.
Only Dan.
Only Dan's.
Cock,
So she says he saw him making out with Tana at a party. She went up to him and said, hey, just so you know, I know she looks older, very thoughtful, giving him an out, but I want you to know that she's a minor. And he said, oh, thanks, bro. I'm so glad you told me. Then later that night, he fucked her.
Crazy.
That is,
Yeah.
my friends, so bad.
Yeah. I
That's a
that,
crime.
That removes any
that
wiggle
point,
room
it's
of
really-
of pleading
Like,
ignorance.
holy smokerinas.
Yeah.
That is like the worst thing that could
Detail.
happen.
Yeah.
Like you knew.
Explicitly told exactly why I was wrong. Said you understood. Like confirmed that you understood and
Yeah.
then did it anyway.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
Crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. You know. Up until like he's been posting quite frequently on like his second channel, like daily almost. And I was checking it a few days ago. His views are still really good, and the story's been percolating for a while.
Yeah, I think he's done a good job of covering it up until now, like D'Angelo pointed out.
I do think
Heavily
there's genuinely a
censoring
lot
it.
of people that just don't care. They say, she's 17. Who gives a fuck?
Bless you. Yeah. I would like to think that the bigger chunk is just people that, I mean, especially somebody as mainstream as him, his audience is full of, how do I put this? I guess normies, kind of. Like, the vast majority of people that watch YouTube videos are not as plugged into all the drama and everything as we are, or they're not as brain poisoned as us. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people, they just watch the video and they never think another thought about it.
This is a good example of the kind of stuff that you see, and we saw in our own chat, frankly.
We did indeed.
Alex Silverstein, who, by the way, has almost certainly committed a crime right after reading this. Tana is from Nevada. Cody is from Canada. What? He's Canadian? He lives here.
Yeah.
Kind of have to follow the laws where you live.
Yeah.
They both lived in California. California, by the way, age of consent, say it with me.
18.
All you have to be is 18. Even R. Kelly knew that shit.
Yeah. Right.
Many states have an age consent that is 16. I just can't bring myself to care that much. She hooked up with many more older dudes from what I have heard. Just not just Cody. Let's start outing them all. First of all, Tana has explicitly talked about this in the terms of like how she, looking back as an adult now, understands that it was harmful and fucked up and that it did hurt her.
Yes. Her take on it is pretty much like, it didn't traumatize her personally because compared to everything she's experienced, it just like she wasn't able to heal from that because she was healing from other stuff. So, but then she's like, now at this age, if she keeps saying like, if I had a fucking sister or like a friend who is that age, I would kill them.
Well, how old is she now? How old is Tana?
I think she's probably
25,
about
maybe?
25.
I think that's probably got a lot to do with it.
26.
Because once she's 26.
Yep.
You get to that age that other person was, and suddenly you're looking at 17-year-olds and you're like, holy fuck, that was fucked up. You know? I think that's, to anybody that's like, oh, why is she doing it now? I think that's the most straightforward explanation.
Totally.
But yeah, I mean, this take is like so catastrophic. I mean, bro, just say you want to fuck minors, man. You know what I mean?
And also,
why does he bother saying they both lived in California if he's talking about age of consent? California, the age of consent is 18, dummy.
I mean, why did he bother to say any of this?
Didn't this happen in Florida?
That's true.
Which also has age of consent.
Which is also 18.
Yeah. No matter how you slice it.
Yeah.
And again, as I emphasized when we first talked about it, I don't even want to get caught up on the whole age of consent thing because it's a red herring in the fact that it doesn't really even fucking matter if it was in a legal state or not.
16 is the age of consent.
You know? But the law exists for a reason. That may surprise you. The age of consent law is actually there to protect minors. So, kind of the whole point of it. You know?
I always raise an eyebrow. People are like, oh, 17 is practically 18. It's like, in what universe does that apply to like anything else? You know, that has an age restriction.
War?
You get a driver.
Yeah, he's 17.
Yeah, he's 15. He can get a driver's license.
Actually, they probably do that during war. There was a bunch.
True, a lot. Yeah, but it's not legal. But yeah.
Cody, these bars in your. And I'll say this. I ran into Cody recently. I was with the kids and the dogs on a nice day in Malibu at the mall, outdoor mall there. This was probably about 6 months to a year ago.
Okay.
Why'd you say yeah?
I was just feeling the dead hair for you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Beep boop, beep boop.
In case this gets used, in case this gets used in in a clip, I want to be in it.
Oh, he's trying to get his clout.
Clever. Clever.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna start fighting for that dead air.
Yeah, you're so right, Ethan.
And I ran into him, and he was very weird.
Really?
I got such a bad feeling from the encounter. Like, he didn't want to like see me or talk to me, and like he was like very standoffish. And thinking back, I wonder if he
knew that you were kind of friendly with Tana, and
that this is something that I wouldn't shy away from.
True.
You know, because I've been thinking about that encounter, like how weird it was.
Yeah, I would expect you guys to have like dad talk or something.
I thought we were going to talk shop because I heard he just bought like a house in Malibu, and I was real happy for him. I said, "Hey, congratulations on the new house." I thought we would talk shop a little bit, but he didn't. He was very standoffish. Very.
That's totally why.
You think
Seems
so?
very-
I mean,
very.
Yes, probably. I don't know why else, because otherwise, in the past,
I mean, he was on the show.
Yeah.
I guess had you ever crossed paths with him prior to that, other than him
Since
coming on
the
the show
show?
one time?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. No.
Well,
but
you
anyway,
were right
shout
to
out
pick up
Alex
on the bad vibes.
Silverstein, who is really a psychotic freak, and we love that.
Good stuff.
Well, I know she like looks a little older. She's underage. Watch it. And he's like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And then he turned that.
This is really.
Shout out Gabby Hannah though. What is she up to? Like for real, what is Gabby up to?
The one person that may have had the answer to that question just stood up to go to the restroom. So I don't know.
I think that person filled me in. I think
Oh, okay.
Gabby, last I heard, was like working at like a local like fitness center or something. Like she moved back home.
Oh wait, I had YMCA or something.
yeah,
right?
something like that. Yeah.
You know what? Good for her.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
I remember hearing that and being like, that's probably a good thing.
I think
Like,
that's very cool. I think it's good for her, man.
step away from the limelight a little bit.
Good for her. Here's a clip. So this guy Colby Leechman, who D'Angelo brings up, is this the guy that everybody's talking about?
topic.
That was it the best man at his wedding?
Yeah.
Okay, so another thing D'Angelo does really good is he brings a lot more context to who this guy is. Let's hear.
Used to frequently feature and promote your college friend Colby Leechman in your videos until it came out that during your school days, Leechman's university put him on probation for, as a United States District Judge would later put it, the non-consensual videotaping of a sex act with another student, showing the video to other people, lying to the police about the video, and behaving horribly to that individual and at least one other woman.
Okay, so I didn't know about all that because before we were all like, well, the accusations were he was always acquitted, not acquitted, but they didn't find any evidence in these.
Yeah, when we initially talked about Cody, we had heard about some of this stuff about his friend, but at least just a cursory look at it, the school had cleared him. But it did seem, I remember it even seemed weird because, oh shoot, I don't want to get this wrong.
Well, anyway, this is
like
what
serious stuff,
D'Angelo
but
highlighted.
There was he had some nepotism connection to the school.
His parents or his aunt or somebody was a provost.
Yeah, something like that. And the whole thing just seemed like a very brush under the rug kind of
That's
situation.
such a like old money bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my aunt's provost. I
Right.
can do anything. At Duke of all places. Was
That-
Duke, right?
I believe it was Duke.
Let me see.
That's like the most fucking
Yeah, they don't
privileged
have-
situation in the world.
The best reputation, do they?
So this is what D'Angelo highlighted, I guess, from a court filing. Two students who participated in non-consensual videotaping of a sex act with another student, and therefore, and thereafter showed the video to other people who lied to the police about the video, and who even under their own version of the facts behaved horribly to her and at least one other woman. So like, all the other accusations aside, that's really despicable.
To make matters worse, the woman in the video also alleged that Leechman drugged her before the recording and that she hadn't actually consented to anything at all. You had this man in your videos. You were telling us to follow him on Instagram, and at some point you did wise up, so he's no longer part of your content, but he still seems like he's very much a part of your friend group. From the continued hangout since then to inviting him to your wedding.
You know what, man? All this guy's bullshit really fucked his hairline up.
He's done worse things than go bald. Let's go easy on him for that.
This guy?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I'm just saying, can we focus on his actual crimes and
No,
not
I
his
didn't.
hairline?
No. You misunderstand me. Being bald he didn't do anything wrong.
Uh-huh.
But by doing things wrong, clearly he's lost his hair.
Right. So what's the implication there, Ethan?
That you fucking killed someone.
Yeah,
Dan.
not
what
an
the fuck?
implication.
What did I do?
Oh, it's not everybody. Because you're a bald king.
I see. That's different.
This guy's holding on.
That happened to you because you're amazing.
right.
Exactly. We saw that dome shine on stage.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Shine
Yeah.
like a diamond.
Shine like a
It
diamond.
really did. It really did.
You know? Yeah. Wow.
What's going on with that hair?
Wedding just last year, people are under the impression that you're best friends with someone who, at best, committed an illegal sex act and at worst is an alleged rapist. And no matter how many times people rediscover this information over the years, you refuse to say anything at all. You could clarify this, but you won't. But now your cowardice has reached a new low. You've tried speaking and you've tried silence.
That's the most frat boy shit ever. This is, and just to put in context, this is his best friend, his best man, was credibly accused of raping somebody, and then the judge seems to be under the impression that it doesn't even seem disputed that he videotaped them and a sexual act without having consent, like that's his best friend. So, you know, birds of a feather for real. Like, and the fact that they're still friends is really just like makes me think, you know, they're really not that. They're on the same page. You know what I mean?
And now you're choosing censorship. On your YouTube channel, where you've been pumping out content nearly every day now, I couldn't find a single comment on your last video about this situation. Not even one. Comparing that to the comment section on your Instagram, where every single comment I saw was about this, it's clear that you're heavily censoring your audience on YouTube. But surely you must have realized the limits by now, since people have just transferred the conversation over to your wife's channel. The fact that her comment section is overrun due to your decision to stay silent about this should be all the proof you need that that decision was wrong. At this point, your silence and censorship are a response with disturbing implications. The only thing that I've seen this hidden portion of your audience asking for is the truth. So why aren't you telling it? And your silence isn't the only one that's bothering me either.
All these Reddit threads, like if my name's on any thread, it's all getting deleted.
I witnessed the heavy-handed moderation of your subreddit in real time as I researched this video. I would refresh the page and posts would suddenly be unapproved by moderators after racking up hundreds of comments, removed because they could, quote, instigate drama, or more commonly, just locked and or removed with no reason given whatsoever. I'm sure whoever is doing this thinks they're helping you, but you should probably tell them that they're making things look 10 times worse. But it's not just your moderators, it's your friends and fellow YouTubers too. It's no coincidence that with the exception of the H3 podcast, I haven't seen a single channel over 1 million subscribers do so much as acknowledge that this situation exists. And I'm not talking.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
You look like Elon Musk.
Oh, it feels so good to be recognized. Really does. Really, really does. You know. Here is, yeah, Charlie.
That was the timestamp you were asking for.
Well, let me see. Maybe it's not as bad as I remember.
Like, I don't know why that needs to be explained all of a sudden. Now, something D'Angelo Wallace does make a point of here is pointing out that Tana Mojo is not well liked. I'm sure if you've been on YouTube for any length of time, you've heard her name and seen a lot of less than stellar things about her. She has a history of lying and putting on a lot of bad stuff and bad behavior. However, when it comes to this claim, this...
You know, it's like... You just leave it dangling there.
Yeah, you don't need that.
She's been good for years, in my opinion, as far as I know. And so, like, it's like, why do we have to keep dragging people through the fucking mud forever? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, look into it at least. I get the feeling he's just like, she's kind of, everybody hates her, and she's kind of the worst, and she's a liar, and she's done tons of bad things.
Like,
has she?
Guess what? She was a kid when she did said things.
17.
17.
Come on.
That's why we're here talking about it.
That's why we're here today. You're so right.
So I don't know. I like Tana, so I get defensive.
Yeah. She started her career early and she made some mistakes.
Also, maybe I'm just butthurt because he did the same thing to me.
Maybe a little bit, because he does preface it by saying D'Angelo makes this point.
No, D'Angelo was way more...
Yeah, I agree.
...classy about it. Don't put that on D'Angelo. D'Angelo didn't say any of that. D'Angelo wasn't like, Tana's about as rotten as a pineapple that's been sitting in a homeless man's asshole during a summer heat.
You know, I didn't think it was why, but yeah. It's a rhetorical device to get people bored. He's acknowledging the past controversy. I don't think
it doesn't belong in when talking about a victim like that, in my opinion.
Thank you.
It's unnecessary.
Thank you, love.
But we should continue to let him play because if it ties into...
You want to let it play?
Yeah.
This doesn't appear to be something that she's just lying about for clout to try and...
I know she's a liar, but this one doesn't appear to be a lie.
Yeah, it doesn't appear...
Okay, that it wasn't the best way
You
it
thought
could
he
have
would
gone
stick the
after.
landing.
Because if it, he prefaced that with, but we shouldn't let past transgressions,
that would have been great.
Interfere with our perception.
That would have been great.
That's where I thought he was going with it, and that's maybe the spirit of it still. But
Wow.
It's not great. It's not great.
And elevate her platform on the back of Cody.Co's good name or anything like that. This is a story.
To be fair, have you all forgotten TanaCon? No, but like I've been saying, that's a long fucking time ago, and she's
7 years
She's
ago,
been
dude.
really good. Yeah, she was still a teenager.
She was 19, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so like, I mean, I'm not holding TanaCon against her forever. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, I don't even remember. It's just like a little scam. I mean, shit.
It wasn't that it was a scam. It was that it was super poorly run, was it not?
Yeah, it was just poorly run. It wasn't really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that child didn't run her event well. Surprising, I guess.
I mean, frankly, though, I'm grateful to her because that was some of the best interneting in a lot.
It was some funny content. I've just been informed that the latest episode of Philly D has dropped, and Cody.Ko is his not lead story. The Trump assassination is the lead story, but Cody.Ko is a second.
Oh, stop it! He lived. Let's talk about the man who may not survive this.
I'm happy Philly's talking about it.
Career-wise.
People are saying I'm being too hard on Charlie. Listen, again, everybody likes Charlie. And so for me, it's a fun sport to try to goof on him at least a little bit because everybody likes him and he is funny. I think it's fun to goof on him a little bit, don't you? Was he too good to be goofed on?
No.
Was he too what is he, another
Hey,
Cody
I started
situation?
the whole monotone voice thing on this show. I started that.
Guys? Dan, you're dick riding harder than you're dick riding harder than an overweight person on a merry-go-round at Disneyland when it's 85 degrees.
It's kind of a wild one.
But that being said, Charlie, I don't think he's not a bad person. He seems like a good guy. That's it. He's just a little bit of a fence sitter. That's all. That's maybe my main criticism of him, which is totally fine. He has wide appeal. He appeals to a wide audience, and that's kind of at a certain point necessary. At a certain point, Cody.Ko is Cody cooked. Cody.Ko, more like Cody. No, thank you. That was almost the title.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Got him.
A minor.
No, thank you. Yeah, didn't the whole world just like shit on Drake for having sex with a minor?
Yeah.
Also Canadian.
Minor.
There's
Whoa. Everyone just crip walked on Drake's grave because he had sex with a minor.
on Cody.Ko's...
Allegedly. We don't actually know that.
Allegedly. Thank you, Dave.
Allegedly. On his Reddit, now that they're not censoring, one of the top posts is a photo of Drake smiling, and it says, "Can we take a moment to just appreciate Cody?" And it has 1.1K upvotes.
So they have dropped
Yeah,
the,
it's
censorship,
all...
huh?
6 hours ago, 1.3 upvotes is the censorship is the worst part.
There's probably
No,
at
it's
this
not.
at this
The censorship
point,
is not the worst
I agree,
part.
it's not the worst part.
The statutory,
statutory
rape
rape.
part.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rape part was the worst part for sure.
Almost.
I love when people go.
Terrible take.
It was
Norm
almost the
Macdonald.
worst part.
Yeah, they're stop protecting this white man. I can't. The mods are going to hell. Tell Cody to log out already because they posted the screenshot of Penguin Zero.
I think they just got overwhelmed because like they got called out directly by Charlie and D'Angelo.
Yeah.
Like, how do you moderate like
That's the 1-2 punch.
True.
I haven't. Oh, this is the same guy, Alex Silverstein. I haven't finished this, but I bet he takes the safest route possible. It's a serious accusation that has a lot of evidence to it. No, it isn't, and it doesn't. Ooh, so in a weird way, we agree. He's a fence sitter.
You agree with the psycho
Well,
Cody?
we're not.
You're on opposite sides of the fence.
Yeah, just pick a side. Carl. Actually, no. I'll say in this video, he very much picks a side. He does not sit on the fence at all. Takes a very strong decision here on this one, so I'm happy about that. Let's see what Philip DeFranco says about it. Philip the Frankfurter.
Ooh. A good one.
Thanks, bro.
Is it?
Really good, according to Love.
But then, to shift gears, let's talk about Cr1TiKaL, because he has absolutely blown up online in the past 24 hours. And if you don't know, he's a massive YouTuber, content creator, podcaster. He DJs now. And the reason his name's
I hate that he DJs. I'm sorry. I'm letting it all loose. He's DJing. Like, dude, you have a kid and a family.
Yeah.
Like, why are you in Vegas every weekend? He has a residency in Vegas doing DJ sets. Like, grow the fuck up, bro.
He's also done it at schools and colleges and stuff like that.
That is weird.
That is weird.
Like, bro, he's trying to go back to college. He's missing his glory days.
Yeah.
Like, he is wealthy. He is successful. He doesn't need the DJing gig. He doesn't.
He just likes it.
Sorry, I'm coming out as a Cr1TiKaL hater now. I have always hated him.
Up all over the place right now is there's this massive wave of pressure for him to address allegations that he had sex with Tana Mongeau back when she was 17. With those allegations reportedly just kind of simmering quietly in the open for a while, but then they started making waves earlier this year when Tana mentioned it on her podcast. But really, this whole situation's blown up in the last 24 hours after D'Angelo Wallace made a video about it, and it's prompted a ton of discussion online. And we'll start with some of the claims at hand, right? So a lot of this first started getting attention last month when Tana did a live show of her podcast and said,
"Who's the smallest dick you ever had?" Oh my God, did no one look at me, Cr1TiKaL.
By the way, just to revisit this, you don't say that about a man unless you fucking want to kill him. That's like the death of the man's ego. Like, you have to have utter poisonous hatred of someone to go say that. Like that, you know what I mean?
Totally. And she has every right.
That's what she says. I was 17, so like she's, you know, she obviously feeling some type of way about it. You know?
And he's probably small.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Sometimes
you know what I mean?
things are what they are.
DMG.
Delete the video. I can say that. I was literally 17. I can say that. What?
right, and once that clip
Dude, a
made
double whammy. Damn.
to
She
TikTok,
served right there.
people started doing the math, realizing that if Tana was 17, Cody would have likely been 25 at the time. With Tana herself then further clarifying the claim on her podcast later in June, saying, yeah, people did the right math.
This isn't just some crazy tea. It was a crime. I hooked up with Cr1TiKaL when I was 17 and he was 25. When I look back at the Cody situation, I definitely am like, why was he doing that? You know what I mean? But I don't associate or hold it with trauma because I am such a comparative person where I'm like, so many worse things have happened to me. And that's bad.
Right, with Tana saying that she was such a big fan of his, and as an adult, it's easier to look back and say she was taken advantage of, but she's not sure she felt that way. But also saying that even though she doesn't feel traumatized, she knows it's wrong, with her then going on to Trisha Paytas's podcast and adding,
But at the same time, like, if I had a 17-year-old daughter or a little sister or something, like, I would kill.
And while seemingly all these things got certain pockets of the internet to pay attention, I mean, the situation did not blow up the way it has until yesterday. With D'Angelo posting a video titled An Uncomfortable Conversation About Cr1TiKaL, which racked up over 1 million views as of this morning. With him going through these allegations and condemning Cody for not addressing them. With him noting that, yes, right now they're just allegations, but they are serious. And D'Angelo further arguing that Cody has every right to share his side of the story, but so far, his silence makes him look really bad.
Even if what Tana says is false, your silence is still grossly incompetent at best. Why are you choosing the path that would be your only option if you were guilty?
With him also pointing to some of the responses people have seen, which include people trying to dismiss Tana's claims by calling her a liar or saying that she's doing this for attention and saying,
the person has tried to come forward about her experience and has been met with the most vitriolic victim blaming I've seen in years. She's been dismissed, discredited, and disbelieved before anybody ever gave her a chance. Because it's Tana, which sets a horrible precedent that if a person runs out of goodwill, they lose the right to come forward with their experiences.
And that's actually something Tana touched on during her own podcast.
I have seen so many comments of people like on some like, but what was she wearing? And then I feel so bad for all of these young girls because then they see that and then it makes them not want to come forward. And then I am like, wow, everyone.
Yeah.
Like,
I love these girly podcasts where they just like sit on the couch. It seems
I
so
love them so
cozy.
much.
I'm kind of jealous and like,
girl, let's do it.
We can sit on the couch
because like it's so easy. They're just two girls yakking it up on the couch.
Yakking it up.
You know, they don't need all this shit.
I can tell you all the gossip.
You want to sit on a big U-shaped couch and
put our feetsies
I mean,
up.
what's stopping us?
It's a whole genre, isn't it? Like the girlies
kind of.
on the
I love
couch.
For sure.
What just happened? Was that me? Oh, okay.
everyone.
Yeah.
Like, seeing people not believe you is so crazy.
Right in there, she said, if she had more public favor or even if Cody had less, the responses would be totally different. With this, you also had D'Angelo
She has zero reason to lie about that. Like, zero. Come on.
saying that it appears Gabby Hannah previously backed Tana's story. Tana saying that Gabby kind of witnessed this and tried to intervene. And D'Angelo saying that he found an old clip where she told this story.
One time, I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage. And I pulled him aside and I was like, hey man, you probably don't know. I know she like looks a little older. She's underage. Watch it. And he was like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And then he turned that.
And so the responses to all this have been massive. People slamming Cody and his
We haven't
Instagram.
mentioned too. Where did that clip come from? D'Angelo says in the video
her old
that,
pod.
Yeah, but he said it was like deleted, and he really had to dig to find it. And you can tell from the quality, it's like fucking potato, like flip phone camera, basically.
I don't know, but
yeah, I don't like. He
There's the clip.
pulled
Go
that
look
out
for
of
the
the
clip.
ether somewhere.
he did it. That's the thing with him. He always delivers, man.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, I'm gonna watch it because I love D'Angelo, but like I know everything, and like, he went further. D'Angelo.
Comments. And folks on Twitter are saying things like, people being okay with Cody.Ko hooking up with an underage Tana because it's Tana is actually disgusting and further plays into the idea of the perfect victim. Someone can be a terrible person and still be a victim. Her controversy does not take away what he did to her.
Not,
Now,
I
there
don't
you
think
also have
she's a
some people
terrible
talk-
person. You know? It's like something bad happened to her, and then to give everybody the space to talk about it, they need to like concede that she's a terrible person. Like, no, you don't. And no, she's not. I don't think so. You know? Like, what the fuck were you like when you were 17? You were a paragon of good choices and like, you know, a perfect upright citizen? No, you were a dipshit too. We all were, you know?
Yeah.
She's been through a lot.
Yeah.
She's matured a lot.
talking about the age of consent in different states. But regarding that, you had a number of folks countering that, saying things like, a lot of grown adults spend a lot of time trying to, well, actually the age of consent, and it's vile. A 17-year-old is a minor. Minors are children. Children cannot consent. And even in areas where it's not, quote, illegal, it's immoral and wrong 100% of the time. But ultimately, that is where we are with this right now, though I don't think that this is going to be where it ends. Like I mentioned, this has been getting more and more attention, while D'Angelo Wallace's video on YouTube has just passed 1 million views. Over on Twitter, a lot of the clips and the segments have
Why is he doing a
multi-million
slow zoom?
Cinematic.
No, but like, is that, it's just,
Sure it
is
ends.
it
Like I mentioned, this has
weird
been
that he's doing
getting
a
more,
slow zoom here?
more attention, while D'Angelo Wallace's video on YouTube has
Look,
just
that
passed
builds
1 million
to
views.
something.
Over on Twitter,
AV,
You cut it. You keep cutting it off. What if it is building
a
to
lot of
something?
the clips
Okay.
and the
It's
segments
not,
have
but okay.
multi-million views. Other big
I don't even
commentary
know how you
channels.
noticed that.
It just was like, why is it zooming on
That is interesting choice. Interesting.
Sorry.
Go
I didn't
ahead.
mean to. I do that on all our social media clips.
Hell yeah.
It's just to keep
Well,
attention.
on social media, I get it because it's
Shit
like
moving.
Yeah, you gotta keep
fucking-
things moving.
Yeah.
Okay. He's on the edge.
I will say what I appreciate about Phil is that they're always trying out new stuff. So
They're always trying out new stuff on Phil's show.
yeah,
Like what?
like little
slow
things, like
zooms.
intros or
Oh,
bringing
they're
back.
mixing it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
They try it. Try it all.
One of the big consistent things we've seen are pushes for Cody to actually address the claims. But for now, we'll have to wait to see how all this plays out. And of course, if and when he does, I'll want to update this story. But
Tell me,
ultimately,
what
that's
do you
where we are
guys
right
think?
now.
Did
And
he
then,
do
the
rape?
Copa America game in Miami would.
That's the question.
He didn't throw it off to the audience. Yeah, he's gonna.
Let me pass the question off to you.
I really don't know what to expect in terms of Cody's response. I don't know which way he's going to take it. I feel like he's going to ignore. He's going to ignore.
That seems. Yeah.
All we
seems kinda
know,
likely.
all we know for sure is he's gonna end up on Snapchat. Be with David.
Where they all go.
Oh, so true.
The other thing is
probably already is.
The other thing is if he takes a break, then his insulated audience is going to wonder what's up.
Right.
So he might not even miss a beat. He might just keep posting like nothing.
Yeah.
Which should certainly be a choice. You know. Why are we slow zooming? Why are we doing that? There's no need for the slow zoom. We're not getting filled in here.
Saving me some time when I'm making the clip later. Don't have to slow zoom.
Now I'm getting all paranoid. I'm looking at the edges of the video.
Oh, God.
Okay, so that's it. I mean, that's all I have to say about that topic.
That's it.